What's going on, noobs? I am Rory the Perpetual Noob, and welcome back to my Hollow Knight boss discussion series. This is the fourth video in a series where I'll be discussing each boss of Hollow Knight. Where to find them, what tactics I use to defeat them, and what other tactics you might have access to that I believe would also work to defeat them, and what's their story, and how does this boss fit into the world of Hollow Knight. Today we'll be talking about Soul Master. We can find Soul Master at the top left of the Soul Sanctum, which is located within the City of Tears, also near the top and just to the left of center. The fight with Soul Master begins when we reach the top left of the Soul Sanctum. A lot of special stuff happens the first time we reach this boss fight. Sadly, these events do not happen on any subsequent boss attempts. So for our first Soul Master fight, the gate blocking our exit will drop, and we can actually see way off in the background Soul Master slowly rise from behind another large building, apparently mad that we're wandering around up here. We can see and hear something going on back there, like Soul Master is gathering soul, before popping into existence near us, releasing the standard boss terrifying shout, or horse waves or whatever, and fighting us. Since I liked what I did with Hornet's discussion, I'm going to continue that trend and discuss Soul Master's attacks first, and then discuss the tactics to defeating Soul Master. A few general notes for Soul Master before we get into the details of this fight. All of Soul Master's attacks are telegraphed with a grunt. However, no grunt is tied to a particular attack, so as we discuss their attacks and you hear their grunts, please keep that bit of info in mind. Soul Master teleports, disappearing and reappearing around the battleground in flashes of white to traverse the battleground in between attacks. The Soul Master fight has two major phases. The first major phase does have its own phases like we discussed in False Knight's video, but Soul Master doesn't change between these minor phases, so we're not going to focus on those. Instead, we'll look at Soul Master's first phase and final phase. Now on to the attacks. These are the attacks of the first phase. Soul Master will move quickly across the battleground from left to right or right to left. This attack traverses the entire battleground. Soul Master telegraphs this move by appearing either on the far left or far right of the battleground, usually whatever side is furthest from us, hovering just above the floor and grunting as they lean towards us. The grunt and lean signals the start of the attack. Let's call this particular attack the dash attack. Soul Master will rapidly slam into the floor, creating damaging shockwaves on either side of the impact point that travel across the entire battleground. Soul Master telegraphs this move by appearing high in the air, directly above where we were, bending forward to look down at us, and grunting. This attack is very quick. Let's call this particular attack the slam attack. Soul Master will fire a shiny orb of concentrated infection, that's why it's orange, at us. This orb, in the words of Hawkeye, can't bank worth a damn, but will still attempt to home in on us until it strikes a wall or floor, or us. Soul Master telegraphs this attack by appearing anywhere, grunting, gathering soul, infection, all that shiny stuff, near their head, and then with a flash, shooting that orb. Because Soul Master can conjure up an orb from anywhere on the battleground, including the far left or right, this attack and the dash attack can look similar sometimes. Let's call this particular attack the Orb Attack. Soul Master will float from right to left, or left to right as 4 orbs rotate around Soul Master. If Soul Master is going from right to left, the 4 orbs will rotate clockwise. If Soul Master is traveling from left to right, the 4 orbs will rotate counterclockwise. After Soul Master crosses the battleground, Soul Master will disappear, and the 4 orbs will boomerang back across the battleground, continuing to rotate like when Soul Master was present. Soul Master telegraphs this attack by appearing on either the left or right of the battleground, not as high as the slam attack, but still well above the floor. They grunt while their cape billows around them, and the 4 orbs spawn from Soul Master's center. Let's call this particular attack the Clock Attack. Soul Master will begin a slam attack, and when they reach the midpoint of the drop, Soul Master will reset and perform a new slam attack above our new position. The only way to know this new slam attack is coming is when we see Soul Master reset during the first slam attack. Thankfully, the new slam attack is still telegraphed the same way. There's still the grunt and the forward bend before rapidly descending towards the ground, so we have a moment to respond. Let's call this particular attack the Fake Out Slam Attack. These are the attacks of the final phase. Soul Master has only 2 attacks, but be wary because Soul Master is pissed. Soul Master has an altered slam and fake out slam attack. Instead of slamming directly below, Soul Master will home in on us ever so slightly. Instead of sending out shockwaves in either direction, there is a large explosion at the site of impact with a surprisingly large area of effect. Soul Master will chain together several slam and fake out slam attacks before shifting to their other attack.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, if you wanna jam.
Soul Master has an altered orb attack. Instead of firing an orb from their head, Soul Master will hover in one place for about 10 seconds and conjure orbs from random locations throughout the battleground. These orbs still home in on us, and we can expect a new orb every 2 seconds. After those 10 seconds, Soul Master returns to using their altered slam attacks. We are made well aware when the Soul Master fight changes from the first phase to the final phase. Soul Master will fake us out the first time we beat them. Our new ability will be left floating in the air like we've finished the fight, but when we try to get it, Soul Master steals it back and slams through the battleground's floor, sending us down into a deep pit and beginning the final phase of the Soul Master fight. So we've got Soul Master's attacks cataloged. Let's discuss how to beat this boss, starting with the first phase. Many of Soul Master's attacks are telegraphed in similar ways, and combine that with all of the teleporting, this can be one confusing boss. Thankfully, most of Soul Master's attacks have simple counters. We can jump over Soul Master's dash attack. We can walk away from Soul Master's clock attack. I do prefer to do a short jump over one orb and then walk to the center of the battleground, because when the orbs boomerang back, we won't be hit. It is best to walk towards Soul Master when they use their orb attack. If we jump, the orb will chase us and can come back around and get us, or persist long enough for Soul Master to fire another orb. Walking towards Soul Master during an orb attack can be tough if Soul Master is on the ground and we are already close. In those instances, a jump may be necessary, or it may even make more sense to take the orb to the face. Crazy, I know. We can time a jump out of Soul Master's slam attack. When Soul Master gets to about halfway down their drop, make a big jump left or right. We should get out of the way of Soul Master and be high enough and slow enough to miss the ensuing shockwave underneath us. It's Soul Master's fake out slam attack that is tricky, because there isn't any way to predict it. They just happen. A solid strategy is still a simple one, but with precise timing. Jump to avoid the slam attack, like we would do for a regular slam attack. If it's a fake out slam attack, the moment we land from our first jump, jump again, this time jumping towards Soul Master. Soul Master drops fast enough that by the time we land from our second jump, Soul Master will be gone, and we'll land in between the shockwaves. In the first phase, there are ample opportunities to hit Soul Master with our nail. During the dash attack, when we jump over Soul Master, we can use the downward slash attack to score some hits. During the orb attacks, we can use any directional slashes available to us to score hits because Soul Master will stay in place for a few moments after firing an orb. During the clock attack, we can use the upward slash to score hits when jumping over the orbs. If you have the timing and execution, I say you because I do not have the timing or execution, but it can be done, and I believe in you, noobs. You can strike Soul Master during a slam attack while you are jumping away. In the final phase, we can use an upward slash to interrupt the altered slam and fake out slam attacks. The timing is still very precise because Soul Master's dive is really quick. During the altered orb attack, we can get in so many hits while dodging the orbs flying at us because Soul Master doesn't move for 10 seconds. One really important note about the final phase of the Soul Master fight. I had no time to heal. I think if you've equipped the Quick Focus Charm, you would have time to heal 1 hit point in between orbs during the Altered Orb attack, but that is the only opportunity I see. What I mean by this is make sure you heal up before starting the final phase. So those are the tactics I used. Let's discuss other possibilities. Once we acquired the Mothwing Cloak after defeating Hornet for the first time, see the previous boss discussion video, so much of Hallownest became accessible to us. There are now so many paths, so many abilities, and so many charms available. For me, I chose the Grub Song, Wayward Compass, and Spell Twister charms. Why I kept Wayward Compass for a boss fight, I have no idea. I chose Spell Twister because I thought I was going to use Vengeful Spirit a whole lot more than I really did. Spells really aren't my style, so it just didn't work out for me. Vengeful Spirit is useful during the fight if you've got the soul to spare, but I always needed mine for healing. I'm really good at getting hit, which is why I brought Grub Song. Every time I got hit, I gained enough soul to heal back that damage. If I got to choose my charms for this fight again, I would choose Grub Song, Soul Catcher, and Thorns of Agony. For me, I expect to get hit in a boss fight, and to do a lot of hitting with my nail, so maximizing the soul I'd collect from both actions makes the most sense to me, and Thorns of Agony can be a cheap source of damage since it uses only one charm notch. Your preferred tactics and options for this fight, and essentially any fight after we get the Mothwing Cloak, really come down to how you like to play Hollow Knight. At this point in the game, we have access to almost all of the charms, abilities, and spells available. I did not, but again, if I went along a different path, I would have more. If you like using your nail, like I do, charms like Fragile Strength, Soul Catcher, or Soul Eater if you've got it, Quick Slash, Long Nail, Mark of Pride, and Nail Master's Art, again if you've got it, are all great offensive nail options. If you want to play defensively, like I sometimes do, charms like Lifeblood Heart, and or Lifeblood Core if you've got it, Joni's Blessing, Fragile Heart, Quick Focus, maybe combining that with Deep Focus works, but I found Quick Focus to be the better charm for me, and Baldur Shell are solid options. If spells are your thing, Spell Twister, Shaman Stone, Hive Blood, and Joni's Blessing are solid options. A lot of these charm combinations greatly exceed the amount of notches available to us even at maximum capacity, so you'll still need to make some choices. And there's certainly nothing wrong with combining these styles either. A note for any noob, don't forget to upgrade your nail at the nailsmith in the bottom left of the City of Tears. Do that as often as possible because the extra damage helps a ton, no matter what style you play. And for you nail noobs, find yourself the nail art Great Slash. You can find it at the far left of Green Path. Great range and great damage. For you spell noobs, Howling Wraiths is a great spell for this fight because Soulmaster tends to spend so much time above us. Howling Wraiths is found in the Overgrown Mound, far to the left of Fog Canyon. Once Soulmaster is defeated for real, we can get the Desolate Dive spell, a spell which allows us to smash through some crumbling floors, opening even more exploration opportunities in Hallownest. This spell also can be used offensively, and by many noobs' accounts, is a really strong spell due to the fact that we gain a ton of invincibility frames when using it, essentially meaning that we can use this spell without worrying about taking damage. So who is Soulmaster? From the Hunter's Notes, head of the Soul Sanctum, hoarded soul hoping to stave off Hallownest's affliction, but eventually became intoxicated by its power. The bugs of Hallownest tried all kinds of tricks and rituals and prayers to rid themselves of the infection, but to no avail. Perhaps the infection came from somewhere deep inside of them that they could not escape. Soulmaster was like the Reed Richards of Hallownest. Good intentions, but horrific execution. Soulmaster was performing all sorts of experiments in an effort to save the kingdom from the spreading infection, but their methods proved too terrible for the king of Hallownest. The king sought out alternative solutions, and Soulmaster's experiments were shut down, essentially leaving Soulmaster without a purpose. The real problem was that Soulmaster had already been exposed to too much infection and decided that they would live forever with this newfound power. To hell with the rest of Hallownest. This is why Hollow Knight has a very Dark Souls-like atmosphere to me. Those without an abundance of soul are taken over by this infection and made mindless, or hollow if you prefer the Dark Souls vernacular. Those with strong wills, or an abundance of soul, retain some of their sentience and continue to exist, albeit in an abominable state. Sounds like many Dark Souls bosses we've encountered over the years. Also, this isn't our last time seeing Soulmaster, but that's for another video. That's it for our boss discussion about Soulmaster. Thank you for joining me today, noobs. Stay tuned for future Hollow Knight boss videos. If you've got any thoughts about this Soulmaster fight, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. I am the Perpetual Noob, and I will see you all next time.